This congregation of the church started in 1937. It seemed that several Christians in this area thought it would be nice to have a congregation of the Church of Christ on Riverside Drive. They were able to purchase a lot here at Riverside Drive and Porter Road, and that cost them $900, a large sum then.
This was a true community church. The people who came to this church lived in this community.
When the soldiers came home from World War II, they went about the business of building their homes, building their houses, and going to work in the factories around here. The congregation at that point in time reflected the neighborhood of which it was a part. And East Nashville was just thriving, it was growing, it was probably the community in Nashville to live in.
The neighborhood has always been a close-knit group. Generally, we've seen a change in the last few decades. A lot of persons throughout the neighborhood moved to the suburbs and to other places, and of course that ultimately had an effect on the attendance of the people at this church.
We were in our previous office space for about 4 years, and like many growing businesses, we just ran out of room. In looking at a new space, teamwork, collaboration was very important because what we do is creative, we solve challenges for clients, and we need a lot of people around a table. We need a lot of minds coming together to further one goal.
We had to find something that was going to allow us for the next 10 to 20 years of growth. And so as we looked at lots of different options in Nashville, we came across the Riverside Drive Church of Christ, and it just made a lot of sense.
We started looking for a space, it was roughly 1.5 to 2 years ago, and space in Nashville was really difficult to find. It was either really far away or really expensive, and when we found this property, it was kind of perfect.
It had the size, it had the character, it had all the creative elements that we were looking for to build out a really super cool creative environment for our team. These things all completely changed, but I'll tell you where we're at right now with the architect. This whole floor is going to come out, and it's got a bunch of old wood that we're going to try to reuse if it makes sense throughout like the design of the project.
When we first met the elders of the church, I was nervous. I didn't know how they were going to take it. I didn't know if they were going to be upset or angry. And as we got to know them, what we found from them was just relief and closure to this experience. They were elated with the fact that we were not tearing this location down, but we were building onto it.
Churches of Christ consider ourselves a restoration church. We take the fundamentals and adapt it to this new age. And that's exactly what SnapShot is going to do with this building. They're taking the bones of this building, the structure, its beauty and its strength, and they're going to adapt it for a new purpose.
All right, guys, let's dig in. There we go.
East Nashville's really excited about this project. SnapShot is bringing something wonderful over here to the community. To be able to save this building as opposed to a tear down, I think the community's really excited about that. It's a beautiful historic church, and the one thing the community said to me was we'd love to see that building salvaged. So it's really great SnapShot has been able to find a way to make this work.
It needs to be an experience, and when we found this property, that experience was already there. It had the look, it had the feel, it had the history to it, that why would you want to tear that down?
What makes a project like this exciting and fun to be a part of is taking an old building that had really been set aside and repurposing it in a really new and exciting way. It brings a lot of vitality both to the community right here, but it's a neat building and it has a lot of really interesting features inside.
Early on, we all realized that the essence of the building needed to remain. Our approach has been to leave a map in place as to what was there. The existing plaster walls will remain within the sanctuary. We are removing the ceiling to expose the wonderful bowstring trusses and the wood deck that we know means so much to the congregation.
One of the unusual parts of the construction of the building is the barrel-type construction. The rafters, they're all steel, and they go from one side of the building to the other.
The man who was supervising the building of the superstructure had actually been in the service and had supervised the building of air hangars around the world for the military. And he used that barrel arch construction to support this large suspended space so that they would have a big expanse without support.
When we were doing our original measurements and we pulled back the carpet, we realized there was this wonderful wood floor that remained within the sanctuary. With that being said, it's very difficult to create an open work environment on a sloped surface, so our approach became more of a reclaimed and repurposed direction. So we'll be reusing those after cleaning them up and replaning them on the break room, as well as the face of the reception desk where it will greet the new clients and visitors to SnapShot's new headquarters. The bowstring trusses, the wood deck, the large windows, those are all givens that lead to a great solution. It was our job to insert something that didn't ruin those items and only enhance them.
When you drive the streets of East Nashville, there are certain places, there are certain buildings that have a very familiar look. And the Riverside Drive Church of Christ, that is the building that housed this family, is very special to a whole lot of people. And it means the world to us that SnapShot is going to leave the building in the exterior the way it looks. We drive by, we can continue to see that. And to this community of East Nashville, that just means a great deal.
As the building was under construction, the thing that I was the most excited about is bringing our team together under one roof. A lot of people didn't get a chance to walk through before we came in for the very first time, and so it was great to be able to show off what we had created for our team.
I'm kind of an emotional person, so the week leading up to that move, it was actually a pretty emotional process for me. We had spent 4 years in our old space, and we had built relationships with clients that trusted us tremendously in helping them solve very important challenges to them. We had amassed a team that had brought in brand new babies into this world, purchased their first homes, purchased their first cars, paid off their student loans in this space that we were in for 4 years. So to see things coming off the walls, being packed up in boxes, it was an emotional experience. And then you fast forward to the move-in day, and you see the entire team show up at 7 o'clock in the morning in their move-in clothes. Mind you, we're not professional movers. And I had this sense of relief that this is gonna be good. Like, we're gonna do just fine here.
It was really incredible to see the team rally around the move, and everybody jumped in, taking a lot of ownership and making sure that everything was packed up and organized so that the day of the move was much more streamlined. Every time I walk in and I'm able to see what we've actually created out of this new office space. It's pretty inspiring, and there were days where it was super overwhelming, and then there were days where it was like, wow, this is all going to turn out. But now that you're able to walk in and see the finished product, it's definitely more than I ever anticipated.
Right now, East Nashville is really in a great place. We're a growing, thriving community. Overall, the culture of East Nashville has just really been interesting. It's a really diverse community. We really have a lot of exciting things going on. So having more great office headquarters is exactly what we need at this moment.
East Nashville is sort of an untapped community for commercial sector. So we're hoping to see a lot of growth in that area over here and wanted to be one of the first ones to support it. SnapShot is collaborative with many other creative companies. We hope other people see this project and come in and look at it as we can do that too.
Since we've got moved into our new space, I mean, something that's been really exciting has been the way that the community has really rallied around us being here and being a part of the community. We feel like East Nashville is a great place for a creative agency to be, and we're excited to be a part of this community.
East Nashville is known for the arts, and considering what we do in web, video, and animation, everyone here is an artist in their own right. And so to be a part of a community that stands for artistic and creative freedom, and to do that in a business, is an awesome thing.
The team, I think, has came in and been equally inspired by the new office space. I've seen a lot more collaboration with the team. We're still pretty small for the space, however, we have so much opportunity to grow into it. Just knowing that now we have a place we can expand, our team is fully vested in what we've created, and knowing that how bright the future is for the company and our entire team is just really overwhelming.
I would say after 2 years of going through this process, the feeling that comes to mind is just joy. I'll sit in these conference rooms and I'm just excited that we are here. I'm excited to see the fresh look, the light coming in, to see the team working with each other. It's a humbling experience.
Not only do we get a really cool creative space, but we get to preserve a rich part of East Nashville's history.